Hey! All right, today we are going to be talking about factoring trinomials. It is your new study for the week. So last week we did just factoring polynomials, greatest common factor, factor by grouping. Today and this week we are going to focus on factoring trinomials. This will look a little familiar because it's the multiplying binomials in reverse, okay? You're gonna wanna watch this entire video, stick around because there's some surprises in it. All right, so let's go ahead and get started on this guy right here. All right, so we have a trinomial. It is 3 terms. That's why it's a trinomial. And we are going to go ahead and set up our parentheses because we know a couple things right from the get-go, okay? We know that to get x squared, we have to multiply x times x. Okay, we also know, because you watched the notes video, that this, here I'll do it in a different color, this tells me something. This subtraction sign on the third term tells me that the 2 signs, remember this from the notes, are different, okay? So that's what that tells me. So I know one's gonna be a minus, one's going to be a plus, okay? Now, this sign, I'm going to put the bigger number is negative, okay? Bigger. It's not technically bigger if it's negative, it's smaller, but farther away from 0. It has the bigger absolute value. Okay, now how do we get these numbers? That's what the big question is when we're doing these. How do we get these numbers, right? Just like in the notes that you watch, I'm gonna keep referring to those. So we want to know if we have P times Q, that's gonna give us our C term. Remember, this is C. This is ax squared bx c, okay? So P times Q is gonna give us, this is our P, this is our Q, is gonna give us C, and P plus Q equals B, all right? So we can make our table. We're gonna say we multiply to get to C, and we add to get to B, right? All right, well, what 2 things multiply to get us to negative 14? So we want negative 14 and we want negative 5. Well, okay, there has to be one negative. So I could do negative 1 times 14. I could do negative 2 times 7, or I could do negative 7 times 2, or negative 14 times 1. Now, when you first start out, you're probably gonna maybe need to do all the factors of the C term, but as you work through it, you'll start thinking, oh, I can do this. I don't have to go through all, because I know that 14 and 1, no matter what I do to them, I'm not gonna be able to add them up to get to 5. So those are out. So this makes more sense, right? 7 take away 2 is 5, but negative 7 plus 2 is negative 5. And I need, this would just equal 5, and I need it equaling a negative 5. So those are my numbers. So what does that mean? All right, well, I put the 7 with the negative, and I put the 2 with the positive. Now, you might be wondering, well, how do I know if I'm right? That's a good question. You should wonder, how do I know if I'm right? You multiply it back through, you FOIL to double check. X times x, x squared. X times 2, it's a positive, 2x. Negative 7 times x, negative 7x. Negative 7 times 2, negative 14. You see these come together, give me that negative 5x, and I know that I'm right, okay? If you watch that, you'll know that I just did number 1 from your homework, all right? So, here we go. I'm gonna erase that. Okay, the next one. Let's do number 2. Oh, here, this is still from number 1. Okay, number 2 from the homework. X squared plus 2x minus 8. Okay, Here we go again. We have P times Q equals C, P plus Q. Here's our parentheses. I can set them because I know what's going to go in them. I have an X times an X is the only way to get X squared. Second symbol, right? The C term is negative. So they're going to be different signs. Which one's going to be bigger? The positive is going to be bigger. Okay, this is going to be the bigger term. So I say, what numbers multiply to give me the C term, which is -8? And what numbers add to give me the B term, which is 2? Okay, so you know 1 and 8. There's nothing we can do with 1 and 8 to get me 2, so don't even bother. How about 2 and 4? All right, obviously I can get to 2 from that. But which one has to be negative? I want a positive 2. So if I do a -4? If I do a -2, I get 4, take away 2. 4 minus 2 equals 2. So there we go. The 2 is negative, 4 is positive. Okay? So that's problem number 2. Keep watching. The surprise has not happened yet. Okay. Let's skip. Let's look at number 4. Looks kind of challenging. Those are some bigger numbers. We have x squared minus 6x. Oh, nope. 16x plus 48. Okay. Now, we haven't seen one like this yet. This has a different C term. That's positive, means they're both the same. Okay, so when we set up our parentheses, because this is positive, it's this little cheat that I've got for you. That's not the surprise, by the way. So this positive means that both of them are going to be the same, and this is what determines it. Okay, determining sign, and that's in your notes. Okay, so because they're both the same, we know they're both negative. That's a big help, okay? So when you go to do your chart, right? You go to your chart, you have what multiplies to give me C, which is 48, and what adds to give me B, which is -16. All right, well, you know 1 and 48 aren't going to get you anywhere near it. 2 and 24, 2 times 24, they both have to be negative. -2 and -24, that's not going to work. Okay, what else? 3 and 16. Does that work? Negative, no. Okay, what else? 4 and 12. Negative, yeah. All right, -4 and -12. Remember, when the signs are the same, we add them, so we get a -16. That's money. We got 4, 12. How do we know she's right? Ms. Ellison makes lots of mistakes. Don't take her word for it. Remultiply, okay? We got x squared, x times -12, -12x, -4x for this I, F-O-I, inner terms, and L is -4 times -12, which is positive 48. That's checking out. -12 and -4, we already added that up. -16x, right there. Okay, so this is your answer. Okay, so where do we go from here? For your surprise, the first person who lets me know via email or remind that they watch this video, you'll have a pizza delivered. So let me know, okay? First person. All right, so the next one I'm gonna do 2 more. I'm gonna do let's do number 6, okay? Number 6, this is x squared plus 13x plus 40, okay? What do we notice here? It's a plus, it's addition, it's positive, so that means the signs are going to be the same. This one tells me that they're both going to be, what are they both going to be? Positive, okay? So that's our setup. Over here, P times Q is C, so here we are going to multiply to give me C, which is 40. Here we're going to add to give me B, P plus Q, right? This is our P and our Q. We're going to add to give me 13. Okay. 2 times 20 is 40. It does not get me anywhere near 13. So I have 2 times 20. Nope. I have 4 times 10. That's close. What can you think of that gets me there? And at this point, you might be thinking, oh my gosh, nothing gets me there. 1 and 40 definitely doesn't get me there. There's another one. Remember, 5 times what? Yeah, 8. 5 plus 8 happens to be 13. So that's it, 5 and 8. Okay, take a minute, pause the video, multiply that back through. The more you do that, the better off you're gonna be with this, okay? All right, let's see, one more. Have you let me know that you watched the video? Who's getting the pizza? All right, let's do, I feel like everybody thinks that the last ones are really the hardest, so we'll do number 10 to finish off with, okay? We got x squared minus 7x minus 18. Okay, parentheses. We're keeping this simple, okay? We have a lot of blue this time. I forgot to change pens. So we have multiplication to get to C. Our C term is negative 18. We have addition to get to B. Our B term is negative 7. All right. What do we know? We know we split up our x's. We know this tells us that they're different because it's a negative. So we're going to have 1 plus and 1 minus. It doesn't matter. If I put the minus here, I could put the plus here. It doesn't matter which way they go. We just have to have one of each. This one tells me that the larger, the bigger one, right, the one further from 0, the absolute value, is going to be negative. All right, so keep that in mind as you're doing your factoring over on the side. This is where that factoring comes in handy. All right, so 1 and 18 isn't going to get us there. And it has to be negative. That still doesn't matter. 2 and 9. Ooh, notice 2 and 9, that's a 7. But which one is negative? Do we do negative 2 and positive 9 or 2 and negative 9? We want a negative 7, so the bigger number has to be negative. Bigger number has to be negative. All right, I'm going to foil this one back with you just so you guys can keep seeing that foiling and what we do with it. Negative 9x plus 2x minus 18, we combine, we get that negative 7x right there, okay? All right, you guys, no joke, I know that this is getting overwhelming for a lot of you. Please take advantage of my willingness to communicate with you. All right, last week we did a group quiz, okay? So make sure, I want to make sure that you're getting the help you need. Whatever you need, please let me know. Don't hesitate to reach out to me, okay? Whoever is getting the pizza, enjoy. Let me know how this week went. Make sure you're watching the videos and taking care of yourself. All right? Love ya. See you tomorrow.